Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to the Sean Ferrell podcast. I am Sean Ferrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Let's not waste no time. Let's get right into it. So, it is 45 degrees outside, believe it or not. And we're just about halfway through April, if not a little bit further. It's 45 degrees for a morning low, and we're in April. Okay. Seems like winter is just trying to make a desperate last push. That's what it seems like to me. Anyway, so this past week was really a rough one mentally. There was a point where I was driving home Monday where it was just heavy suicidal ideation. And I was driving home from work Monday, and all of a sudden it just crept up on me. Feeling low, voices telling me that you never get out of this, you never get out of that. So Monday was really where I said to myself driving home, I said, I just can't take this no more. Okay. I just can't take this no more. And I reached out to a friend, which is not one of my strong suits. For people who are watching this, it may not be one of your strong suits either. But reached out to a friend, let them know what was happening. Gave me some encouragement, gave me a couple of verses, gave me a couple of Bible verses on depression. I was reading some, so I read some Monday. I was also reading some throughout the entire week. I read some yesterday. Okay. And so, mentally, it was rough for the entire week. And Friday, I slowly began to come up out of it. But it was still there. And Saturday, it was just a perfect, crisp, mostly sunny, perfect day to get out into nature, which really helped. Okay. Which really helped, just looking at the running stream of water and hearing the sound of water, along with my music. That helped. That really helped. Of course, talking to God helped as well. Praying, yeah, that helped. So, yeah. So, I said a while back that Las Vegas has the highest suicide rate, and I was looking up suicide rates in the U.S., and I saw that another city actually has the highest suicide rate, according to the website Wallet Hub. Casper, Wyoming, has the highest rate of suicide. Followed by Rapid City, Juneau, Alaska, Billings, Montana, and Colorado Springs, Colorado. These are the top 5 for highest suicide rates. Lowest suicide rates: Newark, New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey, ironically enough, New York City, Columbia, Maryland, and what's that? Yonkers, New York, I believe. So that's the lowest rate of suicide. So, and another thing that I wanted to touch on, I always say depression does not discriminate. It affects me, you. It affects the everyday man. It affects the athlete. It affects the gym worker. It affects the school teacher. It affects the fast food worker. It affects the truck driver. Affects everybody. So I was looking at the top 10 occupations, jobs with the high depression rate and carry the risk for suicide as well. Because I'm sort of going through this, not at my first job, but at my second job. So, and some of these occupations, I was like, well, that's a high risk for depression, suicide, but I'm gonna read this list off. Medical doctors, dentists, police officers, veterinarians, financial services, real estate agents, electricians, lawyers, farmers, and pharmacists. Okay. So, number 1 was medical doctors, male physicians. Male physician suicide is up to 40% higher. Well, male physician suicide is up to 40% higher, yes. And for female physicians, up to 130% higher than the general population. That's right, 130% higher than the general population. Medical doctors, male and female, depression, emotional exhaustion, low self-evaluation, untreated mental illness, substance abuse, marital status and impaired relationships, malpractice claims that could ruin their career. So, the one that surprised me was dentists. Now, whenever I go to a dentist, I see dentists interacting with other dentists. So I see dentists interacting with other dentists, talking, laughing, sharing a laugh or two. But not at every dentist office is like that. For some, they're working in relative isolation without daily peer interactions, which is a factor for stress, depression, suicide, So the dentist one is the one that really surprised me. Okay. Dentist? Number 3 would be police officers for the obvious reason. Everybody, the way we demonize cops, everybody hates police officers. So, but depression, not being appreciated enough, pay, being demonized, factors for depression, stress, self-harm, suicide. Number 4, the one that surprised me were veterinarians. Female veterinarians are 3.5 times more likely to end their life than members of the general population. And in a 2014 survey, found that 1 in 5 veterinarians were cyberbullied by pet owners. They wrote nasty reviews. They threatened their businesses. And it may seem like a good job, but veterinarians, while yeah, you work around pets all day, but they also have to put down pets, put down dogs, put down cats, perform surgery. Pets could die from pets could die, and so that does take a toll on veterinarian. There was a veterinarian by the name of Will McCauley, who was a veterinarian. Euthanizing dogs and cats can be stressful. He was being vilified by pet owners. He felt drained. He came home one day. He fed his pig. Fed his pig. Held a gun to his head. He didn't take his life, but being a veterinarian can and is stressful. They also go through financial struggles as well. In 2018, U.S. veterinarians graduated with over $150,000 in debt. And the median wage was $93,830. And starting salaries are actually lower for veterinarians in the U.S. And then a 2014 study was done. 9% had psychological distress. 3% had experienced depressive episodes. 17% had suicidal ideation since leaving veterinarian school. But only half are seeking help. And between 1975 and 2015, nearly 400 veterinarians died by suicide. So yeah, veterinarians surprised me. Then when I read the reasons why, it wasn't so surprising anymore. Financial services. With financial services, people who work in financial services, they have financial hardships, like I do. self-imposed stress to succeed at all times. So they put a lot of stress on themselves. Um, of course, mental illness, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation. Um, real estate agents. Um, over there can be an oversupply of housing. Prices of property can plummet, leaving real estate agents broke. Um, and of course, there's always competition, which can get pretty intense in the real estate agency. Um, and which can lead to stress, depression, suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideation. Um, Electricians, exposure to electromagnetic fields um, can cause some mental health issues for electricians. Um, Lawyers, social isolation. Being a lawyer can be very demanding, is very demanding. Competitive and individualistic culture that exists with lawyers. And those who are overcommitted are more likely to contemplate self-harm, which can lead to suicide. Farmers, farmers, can be in physical isolation, inclement weather, not being able to keep their farm and run it to its full potential. And pharmacists, believe it or not, which surprised me, pharmacists. The one thing with pharmacists, it can be a high stress it can be a high stress environment. They can also be in isolation. Burnout is also a risk. Between 2003 and 2018, 316 pharmacists ended their lives by suicide. They ended their life mainly by firearms or by poisoning. So, some of those on the list surprise me. This is why I always encourage people to call 988 if you're feeling distressed. Call 988 if you're feeling distressed. Because there's always hope. And along with God, hope is one of the most powerful things you can have against one of the most powerful things you can have against the depression impulse, suicidal impulse. What was I about to say? Lost my train of thought. Yeah. So, I always think about, well, what if your situation improves tomorrow? What if your situation improves within 5 minutes? What if your situation improves in a year, in a few months, in a few weeks? Just having that kind of hope. That's kind of what keeps me going, because I often say to myself, well, what if you end your life by suicide? And the one thing that you've been praying for, you actually get within the next week. What if that happens? Then you're not there to receive that blessing from God. So yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Went through some heavy suicidal ideation this week, but I'm still here telling you all, to giving you all hope. No. All right. That's everything that I've wanted to say. Thank you for watching the Sean Ferrell podcast. I am Sean Ferrell. Happy Sunday to everybody out there. Continue to have a restful, peaceful, tranquil weekend. And I will see you all next week. Peace.